You were just sitting on the floor, sorting through old junk, and somehow your body exhaled for the first time all day. But here's what most people do with anxiety. They find one thing that helps sometimes, and they use it every time. Box breathing, a walk, a glass of water, a scroll. And when it doesn't work, they decide they're broken, or that nothing works, or that this is just how their mind is. That's not a character flaw, that's a mismatch. You reached for the wrong door. Because anxiety isn't one thing. It feels like one thing, but it isn't. Sometimes it's sharp and wired, like your whole body is braced for a blow that never lands. Sometimes it's heavy and loud, like your emotions have a volume knob and someone cranked it past 10. Sometimes it's a spinning mind that just won't stop narrating. And sometimes it's that floaty, unsteady feeling, like you can't find the floor under your feet. When you treat all four of those like they're the same problem, you keep reaching for the wrong tool. And anxiety doesn't ease, it just waits. I'm an analytical CPA. I'm not a woo-woo, new age nut job. I say that not to be dismissive of anyone, but because I need you to understand where I'm coming from. I spent years trying to think my way out of anxiety. I built frameworks, I made lists, I analyzed patterns, and my mind still paced like something caged. What shifted things for me was not a better system. It was a simpler question. What does this anxiety actually feel like right now, in my body, today? Not in theory, but right now. And that question, it turns out, leads somewhere real. Last month, my wife pointed at the den and said, "That pile? It's time." So I sat on the floor and started sorting. Old recipes, chargers from phones long gone, a stray sock even. And then I found a photo book from a trip my wife and I took to Hawaii before we had kids. And I swear, my anxiety eased a notch almost instantly. Not because my problems were solved, but because my nervous system got a clean signal. Kilauea glowing at night. A quiet cove on Maui. The smell of hibiscus on the porch. A picnic in the soaked green of Hana. And it hit me fast and simple. Fire, water, air, earth. 4 scenes. 4 very different ways my body remembered how to settle down. That's the core insight here. Your body doesn't settle through one door. It settles through the door that matches where it actually is. The problem isn't that you can't calm down. The problem is that you're trying to open the wrong door. Here's the deeper thing going on. Your body doesn't experience anxiety as one uniform state. It shifts. It changes texture. It shows up in different shapes depending on what's triggered in it. How tired you are. What you've been carrying. Sometimes your system goes sharp and wired. Your jaw tightens. Your shoulders rise. Your breath gets short and fast. Your body is braced and scanning. Ready. That's the fire state. Sometimes your system goes loud and flooded. Your emotions are right at the surface. Everything feels jagged and too much. Your throat tightens. Your chest feels full. That's the water state. Sometimes your mind just won't stop. Thought after thought after thought. You're not even anxious in your body necessarily, but your mind is narrating everything, spinning, looping. That's the air state. And sometimes you feel disconnected, floaty. Like you're watching yourself from just slightly outside your own body. Your feet don't quite feel like they're on the floor. That's the earth state. Now, here's the part that matters. Each of those states needs a different response. If your system is wired and sharp, and you try a gentle grounding exercise, your body may not be able to use it. It's moving too fast. It needs something to focus on first. If your system is floaty and disconnected, and you tried box breathing, your mind may just drift further. You need weight. You need contact. You need to feel the floor. The wrong tool doesn't just fail to help. It can make you feel like something is wrong with you, when you actually just needed a different door. So let me give you the 2-minute version of this. I call it the 4 doors. Step 1 takes about 10 seconds. You just ask yourself one question. What does this anxiety feel like in my body right now? Not what caused it, not what it means, just what it feels like. Is it sharp and wired? Loud and flooded? Spinning and scattered? Floaty and unsteady? Pick the door that feels most honest, or the one that feels least annoying. Either works. Step 2 takes about 60 seconds. Open one door. If your anxiety is sharp and wired, the fire door. Pick one point to stare at. A candle is great, but a spot on the wall works just as fine. Do 6 slow exhales and make the exhale longer than the inhale. Let your eyes go soft. Give your attention to one simple job. If your anxiety is loud and flooded, the water door. Run your hands under water. Feel the temperature. Feel the pressure. Breathe in for 4 counts, out for 6 rounds. Let the flow of the water take your attention somewhere other than the worry loop. If your anxiety is spinning and scattered, take the air door. Box breathing, 3 rounds. Inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Keep it gentle, no forcing. If your anxiety is floaty and unsteady, go for the earth door. Press your feet into the floor. Feel the chair or the surface holding you. Then name 3 things you see. Name 2 things you feel on your skin. Take 1 long exhale and say quietly to yourself, supported. Step 3 is the only rule that actually matters. Feedback you can feel. If it helps, repeat it. If it doesn't, try a different door. That's it. That's all. The point isn't to rank the elements or to find the perfect practice. The point is 4 doors you can open on a hard day, and you only need to open 1. Here's what starts to change when you use this consistently. You stop guessing. You stop reaching for the first tool you can find and hoping it works. You start recognizing your own patterns. You notice, oh, this is the sharp-wired kind. I know what to do with this. And that moment of recognition, that tiny pause between the anxiety and the reaction, that's where the real relief starts. Not because the anxiety disappears, but because your body learns that it can be met. Your nervous system stops feeling like something that works against you. It starts feeling like something that gives you information. The anxiety doesn't stop coming, but it stops owning the whole room. You start making clean moves, and clean moves, over time, change the texture of your days. Not dramatically, not all at once, but your nights get a little quieter, your thoughts soften a little sooner, your body takes a little less time to come back down. That's what this is actually for. Here's a question I want you to sit with today. Which of those 4 states does your body live in most, and have you ever actually tried to meet it there? If you want to go deeper with this kind of work, check the description. I keep my current offerings there. The things that actually help you work with your mind in a real, grounded way.